All right, welcome to Post Game Live, brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. And you're used to that big score there. I'm going to tell you what the score was. It was Patriots 28, Ravens 24. Patriots undefeated on the road this season. They were down 24-13 in the fourth quarter, came back to get their 12th win of the season. They're 12-3. They're in the playoffs. This is a playoff-clinching victory. We're going to tell you all about it. We got our crew here. We got Phil Perry, been covering the Patriots since 2011. We got Tommy Curran, been covering the Patriots since 1997. And on this side of the table, we have 4 Super Bowl rings. One for Brian Hoyer. He didn't bring it with him today. Ted Johnson never brings his because he thinks we're going to take it. So 4, 3 for Johnson, 1 for Hoyer. I'm Michael Holley. I want some takes on this game tonight. Perry, you start.
This is what is possible when you have a star quarterback. You were down double digits in the fourth quarter. Drake Maye throws for 141 yards and a dime of a touchdown to Kyle Williams deep down the field. He throws them back into this game, and he throws them into victory tonight on the road. They remain undefeated on the road. And, Tom, to have that performance from that player this early in his career, to me speaks volumes about the kind of player that I think he will become, and he already is.
And that is to project down the road. Just to talk about 2025, this will be the game that you probably remember the most from the regular season. No one knows what's going to happen in January or maybe February, but right now, this game stands apart in the way that they executed, especially down the stretch, to get the touchdown that they did, and then the 2-point conversion, the way that was executed, to get a turnover late, to get the touchdown that they had, to come back, Brian and Teddy, after a 50-yard completion was wiped out ridiculously by a non-defensive pass interference call. It's the resilience of this team that shows up when you look at teams in the past that have done so well going forward.
There's no doubt about it. Tonight I looked at what did this game mean on the playoff standings? No, it was about the mojo, getting back, and it didn't go great. It was sloppy in the first half, and I think the one thing we've seen from Drake Maye, the resiliency. Doesn't play well, throws a bad interception, fumbles the football. He doesn't care. He keeps going. Over 300 yards for the first time in his career. Dime, as you mentioned, to Kyle Williams, and I think they have something there with Kyle Williams. Yep. I see a young Stefon Diggs and Kyle Williams. He only shows up on the big plays. Mac Hollins, I love this stat sheet. Christmas, Holly Christmas, Holly Claus. He was calling for Stefon Diggs. He heard you.
He did. He sure did. I mean, that was just like everything these guys are saying. Gutsy performance. I mean, you see Drake just get better throughout the game. I thought they were dead and buried when that failed fake punt was just poorly executed. I couldn't believe that play happened. I thought, well, heck, this game's over. And nope. They kept fighting back. I mean, they get to have the ball with about 3 minutes left on their own 11-yard line and go 89 yards in 9 plays. Boom, 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 right down the field. That 4th and 2 to Stefon Diggs. You talk about, I thought maybe he was going to be missing from the game for a concussion. You had 5 guys go out with injuries. The way in which they came back time and time again, this has got to give them jet fuel going into the playoffs. It was one of the more resilient wins you'll see by the quarterback. I mean, the quarterback was getting drilled. I mean, they started bringing the heat, Brian, right? They wanted to put the pressure on him. I mean, he's just letting go of the ball right as he's getting drilled. He's hung in there. He never shied away. Gutsy performance by the team, but by the quarterback in particular.
I like the way you said that, Teddy. It gives them jet fuel going to the playoffs. So that's the question. I'm going to come back to you, Tommy Curran, on this one. Patriots are 12-3. Broncos are 12-3. Brian Hoyer said, hey, they got their mojo back, and that's most important. But if you're 12-3 and you're both in contention for the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs, is it about the mojo, Curran, or is it about, hey, the number 1 seed is there for us to take? Let's see what happens in these last 2 games down the stretch.
Why not both? I mean, they have a great opportunity with the Dolphins and Jets, both of whom were poleaxed today. So they have a great opportunity to win out, to finish 14-3, and be in a position if Denver, which has difficult game against the Chargers coming up. Yep. So you have a great opportunity to draw even and to surpass them. You're going to most likely seal up the AFC East if that hasn't been done, correct? No? The win did not seal up the AFC.
No, you've got to win. You've got to win. You've got to win late in the season.
But both things can be true. I mean, this is important because they played the game without Milton Williams. They played the game without Will Campbell. They lost Travion Henderson. And I know the Ravens are 7-7, now 7-8, and they were playing with Tyler Huntley, but that's on the road against a team that has been poor at home, that circled this game, that is a program that has a lot going for it that the Patriots didn't have. It's one of the top teams in the league coming in. So, as Teddy said, it's a big jet fuel game.
Yeah, and just to watch Drake Maye and now be going into the postseason, which we know they will be going into the postseason, it's just a question of what the seed will be. To watch him perform like this late in the game, I think gives the entire organization hope. Just the fact that it's going to be very, very, very rare that late in these games you are going to be officially out of it, right? Unless you're getting blown out.
Yeah.
Because the throws he was making, and Ted pointed out, I mean, he is getting laid out. There's a late throw across the middle to Stefon Diggs where he's getting drilled. He's taking it like to the chin.
Right.
Over and over and over on a regular basis, and to still make those throws in that kind of moment, to me, again, now, going against a good team, you're not going to be out of it.
No, and I think the biggest thing is Drake is playing quarterback the right way. You and I have been talking about progression reads, coverage reads. They're asking Drake to do everything, right? Set the protection, alert the play, read the coverage. The first third down, maybe not third down, but the long pass to Mac Hollins across the middle. They try to give this disguised look, and they run this exotic Tampa 2. It doesn't even faze him. He sits in there, he hangs in the pocket, he takes the hit, delivers a great throw. And the one thing, we sat here last year, and it was not such a great year, but you saw the kid. Something bad would happen, he'd bounce right back. And that's what you see from him, and it's what's so impressive at 23 years old, the poise, how calm he is, and then how accurate he is when it comes down to having to make the play on 4th and 2. You and I were watching, he zipped it in there. I mean, this far away to Diggs, and I said, look how hard Diggs is running this route. These guys are playing for each other. It's really impressive.
I mean, see Kyle Williams. I mean, we talked about this on the breakdown, Phil. The best play is that seam route, that 9 route up the right sideline. It's been booty most of the season. I mean, but you've seen other guys in there tonight. It was Kyle Williams, press man, no safety over the top.
Here it is right here.
I mean, this is the read. This has been the read all year, right, Brian? I mean, middle of the field safety. So no help over the top there. At least I don't think. Maybe I could be wrong, but press coverage at least. And Kyle Williams, we know how fast he is. That's the read. That's where he went to. A beautiful throw, just, in the perfect spot. And as we always say, you cannot defend the perfect throw, which that was.
And he blew right by the corner there, Humphrey, who was who has a good reputation, hadn't been a good corner this year, but historically he's been pretty good. Kyle Williams, the rookie, just runs right by him.
That's the speed.
Yeah.
The three of us sat here breaking down receivers and who the Patriots might draft, and we threw on the film of Kyle Williams. It's the same split release and the same speed, stacking the guy, and then when you have a guy who throws a beautiful deep throw right over the shoulder, this is going to be a lethal combination for years to come.
I want to ask you guys, there's so much to choose from. Let's go the anatomy of a comeback. They're down 11, 24-13, watching the games like I have been for the last few years with my brother Tommy Curran. Curran says, hey, what do you think is going to happen here? I said, look, Curran, if they score here, now you're right back in the game, and then a few minutes later, we get the Maye to Williams touchdown. But there are so many other plays in here. I just want you guys to tell me some of your favorite plays or what you thought were some consequential plays. That's one of them. What are some other ones? Ted, I'll start with you and just go around the table.
Well, you know what? Can I give the defense a little bit of love? They forced only 3 turnovers in 6 games, and they had 2 tonight, and they went after the ball. They punched the ball out, which we hadn't really seen. And they were getting run on. Let's face it, they were getting run on. They had Derrick Henry averaged 7 yards per carry, but they made the plays when they had to. Your offense brings you back. You're winning the game, and then you force a turnover to seal the game. That reminds me of some old defenses that I used to play on, which is fantastic. I don't know, just that. I thought the 4th down and 2 play was outstanding. They were anticipating a quick route and they jumped it. It barely got by that defender's hands for Diggs to catch the ball and turn up. I thought that was a gutsy. That Mac Hollins play over the middle.
Yeah.
It was that Kyle Williams play. There's a lot of plays to choose from, Brian.
No, I think the combination of Drake Maye winning from the pocket, and then when it's not there, breaking down and extending the play. And I was sitting there watching the game with my son because he went from being a Josh Allen fan to now a Drake Maye fan. He's got someone to root for, and he was like, "Dad, look at how he steps up and he's just keeping his eyes down the field and throwing it was the one across the middle to Diggs, and it's like he is improved so much in let's call it 14 months. I don't even know if I've ever seen anybody make that big of a jump in 2 years. He's playing at such an elite level. He does it in the pocket, on the run, and like I said, they tried to throw the kitchen sink at him. There's guys at the line of scrimmage. Sometimes they're blitzing. He stands in and takes a shot. Sometimes they're dropping out. He's reading the zone coverage and he's delivering. So hats off to him. The defense, I thought, coming up when they, it's got to be hard, Ted, when you're the defense and you're getting run all over, but you got to come up with a stop and you got to tackle Derrick Henry. I thought they did a good job when it mattered most.
I think that whole exchange where you're up 13-10 and you go touchdown on the Zay Flowers run, fake punt that blows up in your face, which was absurd. It just didn't seem like a great idea against Tyler Huntley.
4th and 10.
Just punt it away and let them come back at it. And then to see another touchdown run, and that's just so deflating. And you're like, well, last week we did the same thing. We, pissed away a lead late, and they were in the process of doing that again. But I'll go back to the Kyle Williams touchdown catch because those kinds of catches, the throw's unbelievable, but for a guy to maintain the composure as a rookie on Sunday Night Football with the ball coming in and the lights up, and you get a former All-Pro or at least Pro Bowl corner and Humphrey on you, and to look it into your hands, come up with it, hit the ground at full speed and maintain it. We see dozens of those every week that bounce off somebody's hands or you hit the ground and it goes out. It's just great playmaking that happens. It's not a perfect team. It's not really, when you look at that roster and really parse it, there would be a lot of teams around the NFL, Phil, who would say, I don't know how many of these guys could replace our guys. But they play for each other and make plays for each other.
I love the Kyle Williams catch. I had a conversation with him recently about how the receivers, they're all, they're going out together every week. They're actually having meetings every once in a while in the facility just to talk ball and to talk about the craft. And they still meet with Todd Downing, of course, but this is on their own. And one of the things Kyle Williams told me is, Kayshawn and I, we play the same position, so we exchange a lot of ideas, and Kyle's doing a lot of listening more so than speaking because he's the rookie. And one thing that he's really taken from Kayshawn Boutte is being calm at the catch point, is what he calls it. And he really feels like he's been able to adapt that to his game. And you saw it against the Giants on that long touchdown down the field, and you definitely saw it right there. And so the fact to me that he can make that kind of play and that his quarterback trusts him to go to him in that moment when you are down and you need that kind of play, to me is one of the reasons why this team has been able to be as successful as it is, because there's no playing favorites. It's if this is the read and this is the right throw, I'm going to allow you to go do what you do.
No playing favorites. However, if they're talking ball and the rookie says, okay, I've got the least experience, I'm going to listen. The guy with the most experience got the ball a lot tonight, Brian Hoyer.
That's right.
You saw Stefon Diggs. He had 10 catches against Buffalo, his old team. He had great energy tonight. It's almost like when he goes back to my old haunts, I'm going to show them, I'm going to show you why I made it out. Okay, I'm going to show you what I've been doing since you saw me last. So he went to college in Maryland. And it's just right down the road, and he's balling out tonight. What did you see from Stefon Diggs tonight, Hoyer? Let's start with you.
No, I think I talked about that 4th and 2, the burst with which he ran that route. That's how he played the entire game tonight. And I think the one thing that I wanted to say in the pregame show, we didn't get a chance to get to it. Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of play time and catches lately, but his energy for the team and what he's brought to the team, sometimes perception can become reality. And you get this perception of Stefon Diggs that he's a prima donna or he might cause problems. He's been a tremendous leader for this wide receiver room. Todd Downing talks about it. Josh McDaniel talks about it. And he brought the energy tonight. And it might have been being back in his hometown, wanted to show out. But, man, having him play the way he did, that's going to give defenses fits because they're like, okay, we thought Diggs was kind of on the decline. Now he's back in it. How do we cover all these guys?
They short motioned him a little bit to kind of get him open as well because he was having a tough time, I think, against Man, at least against Buffalo. So they found creative ways to get him so that he could get some space and get open, which I thought was great. Great game plan.
Presented by Gem Plumbing and Heating. For an instant reaction to your heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing needs, visit AskGem.com.